Muilleoir. Patsy, thank you, gentlemen. Sorry to miss the start of your presentation, and we read the 100-page report with interest, 104 pages. But I thought the conclusion wasn't bold enough, and would I be right in saying that the suggestion of having a specific air route incentive programme or development fund, that really that will only be tinkering around the edges, that we are seeing the CEO of the Belfast International Airport, Graham Keaty, the CEO of the Belfast West Airport, Brian Ambrose, the chair of NITB, Howard Hastings, the CEO of Tourism Ireland, Niall Gibbons, all saying that air passenger duty is a brake on tourism. And I think we can see that Dublin is doing magnificently well. The airport is doing magnificently well. Do you think that if you do have this specific air route development fund, it will lead to a step change in the numbers coming in?
No, it won't be a step change, and it'll be focused on those destinations where we can make it stick. Germany, Scandinavia, as I mentioned before, Brussels, Milan, Madrid. We're already served in certain parts of Europe. We're well served in outbound holiday destinations, and that's not what this will be about at all. This will be a focused intervention, and likewise, it's not going to underwrite the costs of an air route for 3 years completely. It'll be part of the cost. It will very much be a partnership approach with the airport and the airline and Tourism Ireland, all working together to see how we can make this work. We're not looking to be Dublin. We're looking to have our share effectively, and it's the targeted intervention that the route fund provides. And I suppose your point about the conclusions of the report, what the report in fact says is if we didn't have to pay for APD, we would have a 12% increase in passenger numbers. We would be to the benefit of £55–60 million. But the way Treasury work, we would have to pay for that, and if we have to pay for it,
well, it's not clear. It says here the negotiation would have to take place. It's not clear what the price of that would be if we didn't have our passenger duty. Is that not correct?
The reason for that, Chair, is that the way that the estimate from HMRC, the last estimate from HMRC on APD from Northern Ireland was in the region of 75 to 78 million, whereas this report, which was had a clear focus on actual figures for Northern Ireland, estimated at 55 million.
Yeah,
therefore, there's a slight difference between what Treasury may estimate through their generalised approach.
I suppose my broader point is it's not clear that whole cost would fall on us.
At the moment, if the executive sought the devolution of APD powers, when it came to the waiving of the international charges, that is borne by the Northern Ireland executive. So.
But it's still not clear. If these powers are transferred, it's still not clear at all that would fall on us, despite what happened with the long-haul flights.
Well, that would be a subject to negotiation okay. With Treasury.
Yeah. So my point is, Chair, that the conclusion of the report is that all that cost would fall on us, and I think that's a matter of negotiation. I think APD is a classic tax, which is great for London, not so good for Belfast. Would you agree with that?
Well, Chair, I think the Minister and the Minister for Finance have both made the point that they believe that the APD is an unfair tax, and I think they have made that point to their counterparts in Whitehall.
So I suppose, Chair, what I'm saying is we need the transfer of the power, and then we need to work out how to implement it. Is it correct, Howard Hastings, the Chair of NITB, says that when Dublin abolished APD that they put 1 million extra passengers onto their numbers coming in 1 year?
That's what Ryanair committed to the Irish government to do. If the Irish government got rid of APD, they said they would bring in a million passengers. A million passengers. They would have a million sort of extra seats. And whether what you believe in the media, was there agreement between the Irish government or not? But we don't know. But certainly Ryanair have made that plain. If I can maybe just clarify on the Treasury numbers, the 55 million in this report is a Northern Ireland accurate reflection of what APD would cost us. Treasury, whenever they say 78 million, it would be getting them down from that. If I'm not going to use the direct long haul as an example, whenever we devolved direct long haul, Treasury initially came back with a cost for Northern Ireland which just did not make sense, because we only had one route at that stage, which was Belfast, New York. There was only a certain proportion of the plane to travel business. What Treasury were saying is, on average, here's the UK profile, so it would cost you £5 million. And there had to be robust engagement between DFP and Treasury to say, but that just doesn't make sense from a Northern Ireland point of view. So the tax take for Northern Ireland, I understand, is now about £2 million, but Treasury will come at this in terms of, whenever they say 78 million, there's much more premium traffic in the UK, there's much more business travel. They will start from the basis of, well, this is the UK average, this is what should apply to Northern Ireland. The engagement would then be getting Treasury to come down in the numbers.
I was just, Chair, I mean, just to finish off, I mean, I think we're going to rehearse that. I do think it's a matter of negotiation, but the problem for me is I think that our route development programmes are just tinkering at the edges, that if we focus on business, but what about tourism? Because if there is a flight which comes not from Frankfurt, not the financial capital, but it comes from Berlin, that'll be good for tourism. And tourism, of course, is key, that we double the contribution of tourism to our economic development. So I do feel that this isn't going to make the difference we need. I disagree with the figures in this. It says that Graham Keady, the CEO of Belfast International Airport, says for every million extra passengers he'll create 1,000 jobs. This report downplays that. It cuts that number down, I think, significantly. But I think that we should learn from Dublin. We are asking our airports to compete with one hand tied behind their back, and the sooner the power is transferred, and then the power is transferred, and then we decide how it's used, the better. But look, thanks for coming in. It's a very useful discussion. Thank you, Chair.